Elon Musk says the 1,547-page continuing resolution to keep the government running should not pass. Now listen to what Speaker Johnson had to say about that.
I was communicating with Elon last night. He said, we understand you're in an impossible position. Everybody knows that. Remember, guys, we still have just a razor-thin margin of Republicans. So any bill has to have Democrat votes. They understand the situation. They said, it's not directed to you, Mr. Speaker, but we don't like the spending.
Come on in, member of the House Financial Services Committee, Byron Donalds. Congressman, this bill will fund much of what DOGE is looking to cut. What's going on?
Unfortunately, this is what happens in the lame duck here on Capitol Hill. Listen, there was a historic election, a mandate given to President Trump. People want government efficiencies, they want lower spending. But the swamp and, frankly, congressional Democrats want what they want, and it was that or farmers suffer. And it's a very unfortunate bill. Listen, what we have here is a bill that puts disaster recovery for a state like mine of Florida and many other states, and that was held hostage to get EV mandates and all this other stuff through this package. Personally, as a member, I have to vote no because I'm not voting for this kind of garbage. This is a bad bill. It should not pass. Elon Musk is correct. A lot of my colleagues are correct. In my view, we should go back to the drawing board immediately. Disaster recovery should move on its own. And when it comes to the other functions of government, it should be a slim deal until Donald Trump comes back.
Then if you vote no, if it goes down to defeat amongst Republicans, then you're going to have Democrats to pass it and keep the government going. That is likely to happen. How do you feel about that?
That's something I just simply don't like, but I would say that's up to the members of my conference of Republicans, because there was a mandate delivered in this election, and it was not for business as usual. It was actually to trim spending, to cut spending as it needs to be cut, to have the government be more efficient, to not fund or do extensions to institutions that have been suppressing free speech, that is, frankly, are now being sued by conservative media groups for suppressing free speech. The election was clear. The mandate is decisive. So it is incumbent upon us, if it means we have to come back after Christmas to clean this up, then that's what needs to happen. But doing this before Christmas is not the answer.
But do you think this is what Donald Trump wants? I mean, he's about to get into the Oval Office on January the 20th. Does he want a government shutdown and this big fight over what's spending and what's not being spent right before he assumes the Oval Office?
No, listen, honestly, I think with President Trump, he's focused on his presidency, which starts on January 20th. What this is cleaning up the last days of the worst administration we have ever seen with Joe Biden. And that's why my position for months has been we shouldn't even be negotiating with Joe Biden. We all know he's not running the country right now. Let's be perfectly honest. We should not even be negotiating with him. We should be figuring out what is passable going forward, and that is all. No more, no less. And the most tragic thing is that you have family farms and areas that have been ravaged with natural disaster are being used as pawns to get through the same Christmas omnibus that not just members here hate, but the American people despise. That's the frustration that Elon Musk has said. That's my frustration and a lot of my colleagues on Capitol Hill, but we'll see what happens.
And we hear you, Congressman Byron Donalds. Hey, thanks very much for being with us this morning, sir. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Sir.
Merry Christmas.
Why not?